Good morning, everyone. So, what's today's date? Also known as what? And that computer did that to us. No, I'm kidding. Thank you for your patience. We are starting, suffice it to say, I think a couple minutes behind schedule. But it's going to be a great day. It is a great day. My name is Paul Manning. I'm the Chief Service Officer for the City of Richmond. Have the privilege of serving under Mayor Dwight C. Jones as the Chief Service Officer. And I've been in this position for about 3.5 years now. It's been such a pleasure because not only do I get to interface with vulnerable residents who need service, but equally as exciting, I get to interface with people who serve, such as yourselves, difference makers in the community. Clearly, this city, this Commonwealth, this nation would be radically different if it wasn't for service. Anyone watch the nightly news, either on TV, internet, your phone? Anyone ever watch the news? Are there things happening across the globe now, even in this nation? But across the globe. For example, if you look at what's happening in Washington, the sad scenario with the mudslide, volunteers have swooped in to help. Many other countries, volunteerism is a foreign word. They don't know what that is. So people in crises stay in crisis situations, and then we send aid to them. So again, I say thank you for all that you do. Mayor Jones's mantra is building, his quest, his goal is to build the best Richmond. And it's impossible for city government with X amount of resources to do that in and of itself. It's impossible for state government, for national government to do that. Tanisha, if you could hit that down button, please. Again, I serve as the Chief Service Officer, specifically heading the initiative Neighbor to Neighbor. You can see, I won't read all this, but the mission you can see is to bring out the best in each citizen as they support their neighbors with a commitment to service. Back in 2009, President Obama signed into act the Edward M. Kennedy Serve America Act. And a few months after that, Mayor Bloomberg in New York City, as well as Mayor Daley, then Mayor Daley in Chicago, and about, I think, 7 or 8 others came together. And they said, in light of this economic crisis that we have right after the housing debacle, they forecasted out that within the next year, 2, 3 years, the ripple effect is going to hit us as leaders of cities. And what is the ripple effect? Funding from the federal government, the state government will be reduced. How do we accomplish what we're supposed to accomplish as city leaders? How do we do it? And so they looked at service as a mechanism, as a methodology to get things done. And so they created this coalition called the Cities of Service Coalition. Now there are about 150 mayors across the nation representing their cities that are part of this coalition. And Richmond was fortunate to be a part of that early coalition, 21 cities that received funding from the Bloomberg Foundation and the Rockefeller Foundation to actually hire chief service officers across the nation. And that's how I initially came into my position. So again, such a privilege to be with you all. We are a bit behind schedule, so we'll keep going forward. And you can see here, I mentioned Mayor Jones's mantra, his goal, building the best Richmond. Certainly we can't do that alone. We have a distinguished speaker coming up, one of our council persons. Again, it's a team effort, how we get things done. And you can see here, there's 7 specific things in terms of a balanced approach of how we build the best Richmond. And these 7 key bullets are important because they probably touch what you do. Our goal is to build unique and inclusive neighborhoods, focus on community safety and well-being. One major focus, of course, is education and workforce development. Another, sustainability in the natural environment, economic growth, transportation, and a well-managed government. So those are the key focus areas that we have to build the best Richmond. We certainly have things we have to do internally, but there are many things that we count on nonprofits and national service members to help us get things done. Thank you. So it says down the bottom, in many ways, we're on track to realize the vision, the dream of building the best Richmond. In some critical areas, however, there's a great work to be done. A key strategy to close the gap is, I know you're holding your breath, you're saying, what is that strategy? And Tanisha's about to hit the button to show you. National service members and the agencies at which they serve. Give yourselves a hand. And so, again, not only for your work, but also for your patience this morning, because I don't see any tomatoes, I don't see any eggs to be thrown up here, so thank you in many different languages. Thank you very much. Next we have, Tanisha, thank you, next. Obviously, Mayor Jones, this was last year. Who was here? Who was at the event last year? Raise your hand. Anyone? You were here. Okay, great. From what I'm told, that picture was actually on the national website. It was circulated across the nation. So your picture, your participation was greatly valued even at the national level. Let's go to that CD, please. Mayor Jones could not be here. He's out of town, but we do have a word from him expressing his appreciation for all that you do.
Good morning. Today, along with mayors across the nation, including many of the leaders from the cities and counties across the Commonwealth of Virginia, I'm proud to come before you to spotlight the impact of national service and honor those who serve. I'm deeply grateful for the tireless service that national and local members provide as difference makers. The impact that AmeriCorps and Vistas and Senior Corps make in our community is critical in helping my vision of building the best Richmond come to fruition. The on-the-ground services that AmeriCorps members provide to our city's community-based organizations is helping to transform the lives of Richmond's most vulnerable residents. The behind-the-scenes work of Vista members supplementing the efforts of various agencies that are fighting poverty in low-income communities is especially important to me and my Maggie Walker initiative for expanding opportunity and fighting poverty. The dynamic and continuously growing pool of volunteers, 55 years of age and older, are making a difference in the following ways. Number one, they're serving as on-the-ground RSVPs by organizing neighborhood watch programs, tutoring disadvantaged young people, and renovating homes. Secondly, they're serving as foster grandparents for young children with the goal of mentoring them and increasing their reading levels. And thirdly, they're serving as senior companions for vulnerable seniors in the community. Surely Richmond is a better city because of the giving individuals like yourselves. And I want to commend you and thank you for your dedication to serve others. Once again, thank you so much for all you do.
Yes, we'll give Mayor Jones a hand, but also, if he was here, he'd give you a hand. So give yourselves a hand one more time. Thank you. Well, next up we have distinguished speaker, Councilperson Parker Agilesto. So Parker, would you come on up and give Parker a hand, please?
Thank you, Paul, and thank you all for coming out this morning. I think one thing that I appreciate the most about volunteers is that this is something you value. This is something that is in your core beliefs of what is important in life. And a lot of people are raised in families that have that core value instilled on them. Others don't have that in their own household today. And I think what we're doing today, what you all are doing today, is an attempt to bring some of those core values back to the community. We talk a lot of times in nonprofits about who do we engage, and many times we want people who can give of their treasure, give money to help fund the initiatives. We talk a lot of time about people who will provide their talents, whether they have a special skill, whether it is with finance or with fundraising or with carpentry in some of the cases of volunteering. And then we have the time. And I think what you all are doing today is volunteering your time. And time is very precious. Time is an opportunity cost to many of us. While I donate my time to volunteer, I'm not earning a wage here. So it's a choice that we're making to give back to those who are less fortunate. And I very much value that in all of you all. I see a couple of just familiar faces here, and I think the most important thing is every moment of every day, there's an opportunity for us to give back. And I think you all are doing that. Please reach out to me and my colleagues on City Council and remind us of the importance of giving back. Remind us of ways that we can partner with your organizations to expand the capacity, because we need volunteers on a daily basis. And I appreciate the Neighbors to Neighbor initiative and what Paul has got going on. I also appreciate the AmeriCorps, the Senior Corps, all of the different entities. If you are looking for a regular basis to get more involved, by all means, stay engaged. Today is the Mayor's Day of Recognition for National Service, but as many of you are well aware, we have the Martin Luther King Day of Service. On September 11th, we have a National Day of Service, so we constantly are reminding people to get out there and to volunteer and make a difference in your community. Just to give a selfish plug, if I may, Paul, we're in the 5th District right now, so welcome to the Carillon, and what we have here is remarkable parks. We also have some wonderful nonprofit organizations, and they are always looking for people to help. I know with Senior Corps, we've got several major senior residential facilities, 2 of which are owned and operated by RRHA. 1 is owned and operated by the Better Housing Coalition. So we appreciate everything that the Senior Corps is doing and how we might reach out to those members and engage them in your efforts, give them some activities. But furthermore, this Saturday, got to give specifics because unless you have a call to action, you can't do anything. So this Saturday, we're going to be right here at the Carillon doing some ivy removal. For those of you who understand the invasiveness of English ivy and what we see in our trees beginning to fall down because they've been overgrown. So the William Byrd Park organization is going to be doing English ivy removal this Saturday. So you can convene back here at 9. Or on April the 12th, which is next Saturday, this is my selfish plug, I'm sorry, but my office, we organize a monthly cleanup, and we rotate to different neighborhoods in the district. So this Saturday, we're gonna be organizing in Randolph and in Oregon Hill, and we've partnered up with VCU. They've got an initiative called Paint the Town Green, so we're hoping to have a number of VCU students helping. And we've been talking with Paul and Neighbors to Neighbors, and we've also used the Hands On Greater Richmond website to get the word out. And I'm pleased to report that we've got 40 volunteers registered to help clean up in Randolph and do some improvement projects there. So find ways to get engaged in your own neighborhood and find ways to get engaged in other neighborhoods. And I'm going to leave this one last thought with you before I depart, because this is the way I look at volunteerism. I can go pick up the trash right in front of my house. It wasn't my trash, but I can go pick it up. That's one way I can give back, but in some ways that's just giving back because I see it on a daily basis. Now, if I go pick up the trash in front of somebody else's house, that's truly giving back because I have no personal gain from doing that. So just think about some of those ways of how do we give back, what does it mean to give back and volunteer. And I encourage you the next time you come out to volunteer, see if you can bring a friend with each of your arms and bring 2 with you, because that's the only way that we're gonna get some of the critical issues addressed in the city is to get more involvement. So thank you very much, and again, congratulations on participating in these wonderful organizations today.
Thank you, Parker. And Parker, question for you. Serving as a councilman, is it much, much easier than you thought it would be? Is it much easier in terms of, you spend a lot of hours doing this, don't you?
A lot of time spent being a councilman.
A lot of hours. And you can see here, again, as he stated, he's over the 5th District. Parker was elected November 6th. And look at all the different committees he serves on. So again, give him a hand for all he does to help shape the city. But again, this is a day about you all, National Service members. Next on the agenda, we have Ms. Patrice Dempsey. Thank you, Tanisha. Patrice is State Director for AmeriCorps Vista program. And with that, Patrice, come on up.
Good morning, and thank you, Paul. I have to make a slight clarification because I don't want to forget about my senior court, but I'm for the Corporation for National Community Service, I'm the state program director, and we manage the AmeriCorps Vista program as well as our fabulous over 55 senior corps who are represented here. So thank you, Paul. And for me, it's an enormous pleasure to be here again this year. We were here last year down at the Farmers Market and for the first Mayor's Day of Recognition, and today we have even more people here, and we have an even more glorious day after, you know, all that snow. The trees are blooming, so I think it's just a glorious day to be out and to recognize. Before we get started, I want to see how many AmeriCorps do we have here? AmeriCorps State and Nationals. Put your on. There we go. How many Vistas do we have? We've got a lot here in our front row. There we go. Look at all our Vistas. Great. And our senior corps, we got them all up in front. Wonderful. We have an excellent representation of what national service means across the country and here in Richmond. And I believe, and I do want to recognize some of those AmeriCorps members who came from Fredericksburg. Where are you? We have some honorary Richmonders today, and we're pleased that they came all the way down from Fredericksburg to join with us and also to help with our service activities that Paul's going to talk about at the end. So this is really a wonderful day in uniting cities in service. So we're thrilled about that. So it's really an honor, and I'm just delighted to be here representing the Corporation for National Community Service. We have over 80,000 AmeriCorps members nationwide and over 300,000 senior corps members. So what Paul was talking about the impact across the nation, when you start adding all of those numbers, it really is having an impact in our nation, in our cities, our towns, especially in all of these disasters. We have the National Civilian Conservation Corps, and they're with our FEMA Corps. And whenever there is a disaster, they're right there on a minute's notice, and they're doing some incredible work with a lot of these disasters that have been happening. So in addition, part of that national service, we have about 150 AmeriCorps members here in Richmond, and we have over 400 senior corps volunteers here in the Richmond area. So we're really excited that we have such a great representation. So whether they're tutoring, mentoring students, supporting food banks and homeless services, shelters, restoring city parks, as Councilman had talked, building homes, providing health services, connecting veterans and military families to services, you are helping mayors tackle these problems. And it's all about you. And I think that's why we want to recognize the work that everyone is doing. Sometimes, you know, service sometimes appears to be a thankless job, but we want you to know that we do thank you and we appreciate all of the hard work that you've done for our communities. And I think as Paul's going to talk a little bit about it, it's great to take a step back and kind of, you know, look at what's going on, because sometimes you're so involved in the day-to-day that you kind of don't take that little snapshot and say, my goodness, look at a difference we have made. We've made them with the kids in our schools, with our foster grandparents, with those AmeriCorps down at VCU doing America Reads, making sure kids can read, you know, whether we're helping our parks. Sometimes we need to take that step back and look at what we've done and feel proud of the work that you all have done. And so on behalf of the corporation, I do want to thank all of you for your service and your continued service. And I know once you come out of national service, you're going to join Congressman to help with the parks and all the other things as a volunteer. So we want to really thank you all, and it's a pleasure. I want to thank Mayor Jones. He's been a great leader and a friend of national service. We want to across the country, and this is really an incredible statistic, I didn't know if Paul was going to say it, but across the country we have 1,760 mayors who have signed on to appreciate and recognize national service across the country. We have 41 mayors in Virginia who have done that. So Richmond is one of 41 other mayors who have signed on. We have about 6 or 7 other activities across the state with other agents who are thanking their members. So we're really excited. Last year was the first year we did it. We had about 832, if I recall, and we've more than doubled that number. So it's kind of like a good epidemic, huh? So we're just spreading across the country, and we are just thrilled to be here and I really want to thank you all for your service. So to go on, what we're going to do, I'm not going to talk about the service. We're going to get the people who actually do the service to say a little bit. And it's my pleasure to present one of our AmeriCorps Vista leaders, Amy Yates. And Amy's going to talk a little bit about what she does or what service has meant to her. Amy, thank you.
Thank you, Patrice. For the past 2 years, I've had the pleasure of serving as an AmeriCorps Vista through the Virginia Mentoring Partnership here in Richmond. With help from Patrice and the Corporation for National and Community Service, VMP was able to grow an amazing cohort of mentoring program coordinators across the Commonwealth. Here in Richmond, our VISTA team has recruited over 100 caring mentors recruited and matched over 100 caring mentors with mentees, helping improve their chances of success in life. They have built capacity for their programs with the creation of databases and community partnerships, and in some cases, even started programs from scratch. I'm continually amazed at the hard work and dedication of my members that they put towards the betterment of their communities they serve. They inspire me, and that is why I stand here proud to be a volunteer in service to America. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. Amy's an example. We're going to lose her as an AmeriCorps Vista, but now she's going to start working this summer with Hands on Richmond. So we're very excited about that, Amy. Next, I want to introduce one of our fabulous foster grandparent volunteers, Ms. Rosalind Fain. She's at the Westover Hills Elementary School. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Roz Fain, and I'm a foster grandparent. Yay! Woo! And foster grandparent in the sense of I don't take the children home, we don't take the children home, but we're at the school with them all day. I love what I do. I didn't know that this program existed until I became retired early. I always pass the information around to other seniors. This job, it's not a job because we don't get paid. This volunteerism in the city schools is needed. It is major, it is vital. We need more foster grandparents. We need money. We need help, but the teachers need help in a very, very vital way. If some of you volunteer in the schools at times, you'll understand and know. I call foster grandparent beginning from the beginning because pre-K up, even special ed, is an area, a place vital to the growth and education and development of children. A lot of children don't have grandparents. A lot of children don't have grandparents. A lot of children don't have parents. So, foster grandparenting, you become the parent some days and the grandparent, the mother and the father. The teacher can't do it all. The teachers need assistance, the teachers need encouragement, the teachers need side-by-side agreement. We are there to mentor the children. Some children won't have a mentor grandparent, ever. We hope that what we do, and I pray, I'm a praying person, that as a mentor that these children will get what they're not getting at home. And it's a true and a factual thing that there's a lot of disparity and different social issues that are going on that our children are in great need. A lot of the children, and I just love our foster father grandparents, because a lot of fathers are missing. A lot of fathers are missing. But the foster grandparent program comes through Capital Area Agency on the Aging and Seniors Connection. My coordinator, Miss Charlene Cole, is here on the right. We love her a whole lot. She takes care of us. We volunteer in the city schools proudly and passionately. We're serious about what we do, and we are experienced people. We've lived some life. So we want to pass this on to children. Goodness, 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 goodness is what our children need. There is no child that cannot be mentored, that cannot be loved, cannot be, sometimes we can give a little hug while we're talking at the water fountain to them. Lunchtime, we don't have to eat lunch with them, but I find that's the time that they want to talk more about what is happening in their lives, what they can't talk about in the classroom, what they cannot talk about at home. So I sit there, maybe noisy in the cafeteria, but guess what? When you listen to everything that they're dealing with as children, it causes you to want to stay. It causes you to want to continue to volunteer, even as a senior. When you become a senior, it doesn't mean that pack it up, get in your easy chair, put your feet up, get atrophy. It means get out, find something else to do that's going to help the community, help society. Thank you so much. Yay.
Thank you, Roz. Thank you, thank you. And now, to say a few words, we have RSVP volunteer Sharon Brewer, who is with Senior Connections, and we'd like her to come up and say a few words to you. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm very happy to be here, and I feel very honored that I have the privilege to represent RSVP, which is the Retired Senior Volunteer Program, under the direction of Mr. Tony Williams. I've worked several years for Senior Connections in many different capacities, and I've even been chairman of the Foster Grandparent Program. But I'm not here to talk about the foster grandparents because we've just heard a wonderful presentation on the Foster Grandparent Program. I am one of the members of the Senior Connections Choral Group. I've been a member of the group for 8 years, and I must say, we are a dynamic group that sing for hundreds of people all over the Richmond metropolitan area. We sing for churches, we sing for hospitals, we sing at senior homes, we sing at city events, and we even have sung at the Jefferson Hotel during Christmas holidays. Singing is so good for the soul. It heals the heart, and even for the members of the choral group. And to be able to go out and sing for seniors, it also heals their heart and their soul, and it's so good. So I'm very happy that I'm proud of this wonderful, wonderful organization, Senior Connections, RSVP, singing in the choral group. And as far as the choral group, it's just one other thing that Senior Connections does to make the Richmond community a better community. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We're very excited about the service that they're providing. I do want to just recognize some other people before we move on the agenda. As our senior corps members pointed out, all of you cannot do what you do without your supervisors and the people that make things happen as well. They're the unsung heroes of this, so to speak. You're out there doing it, but there's somebody who's behind the scenes that's pulling it all together, and I would really like all of our national service project directors or supervisors to stand up, and I would like to recognize the hard work they do. Come up here. Jillian. Thank you very much. Paul.
Thank you, Patrice, Tanisha, thank you. Would you hit that link, please? Who knew that this is the 20th anniversary of the AmeriCorps? I'm sure many of you all knew that. Yes, incredible. Patrice, thanks again for recognizing the leaders. This day wouldn't be possible without the coalition of leaders you asked to stand, specifically Jenny and Jennifer, Susan, Amanda, Tanisha, Patrice, Debbie Martinez. So a host of people came together to brainstorm a few weeks ago, putting together the agenda, things of that nature, so we can have a great day to celebrate you. Next up, we have at the podium Ms. Amanda Healy, the AmeriCorps Program Manager. She serves with the Virginia Department of Social Services, specifically in the Office on Volunteerism and Community Service. Please welcome Amanda to the podium.
So if I had been paying closer attention to the agenda, I would have known that this was the video that was going to be played. I just need a minute. So again, this is the 20th anniversary of AmeriCorps, and I'd like to applaud everybody who has stepped up for service in one way or another, whether through a formal program or an informal program. We have all had the opportunity over our lifetimes to be part of individual or small group volunteer efforts. And really that is one of those things, you've heard it before already, that sets this country apart is the idea of volunteerism. One of the ways that people volunteer is through serving their communities and their states in a formal way, and I would like to identify a couple people today. There is a Governor's Advisory Board for Service and Volunteerism in Virginia. We have a few members of that gubernatorially appointed board with us today. Paul Manning, Karen Stanley, she had to step out. Okay, Karen Stanley, who is the Executive Director of Caritas, and Patrice Dempsey. So it's my pleasure to introduce an AmeriCorps state member in just a moment. One of the things that you have probably gleaned from all you've heard today is that national service is about transformation. And in a little while, we're going to disperse and we're going to embark on a few service projects throughout the city of Richmond. And those are going to be kind of very hands-on service projects. It will be very simple at the end of our time to see the kind of transformation that we have created by virtue of our physical strength and activities. We're going to be doing some things related to planting and mulching and helping someone clear out their house. The results of that will be very apparent. Some of you are engaged in activities that perhaps the transformation is slower. It's an investment over a long period of time, and that is transformation nonetheless. I would invite you to consider, though, the opportunity for it to transform you. We clearly create benefit in the community through the work that we do, the service that we provide, but we also take a benefit with us. So through your service, you're creating an opportunity for personal transformation for yourself. Many of you participate in a reflection, journaling process as part of your national service experience. And I would invite you to look back on what you've written over the last few months, because you too are on a journey. You have the opportunity to let this change you and touch your heart and guide you for the rest of your lives. So with that, I'd like to invite Anna Murphy, who is on her own personal journey. She serves with Caritas, and this is her second year. Anna?
Thank you so much. What an inspiring group to be a part of. I feel like I want to go sing with the senior corps and mentor. I want to be a grandparent and mentor people. So this is awesome, and I'm so excited to be a part of this. I think it's really great, the energy that's just shared in this room from people who do share those core values that Councilman talked about in service and volunteerism. So that's kind of where my story begins, is that after I graduated, I was looking for an outlet to volunteer my time during the day, putting my degree to good use. And so I came upon Caritas, where I volunteered growing up, and served there for a while as someone who helped people with household essentials when they were coming out of homelessness or housing crisis. And so in volunteering there was really how I was exposed to AmeriCorps. There's a lot of AmeriCorps members that serve through all 4 of the programs of Caritas. And so I was exposed to, again, what you guys feel here today, that great energy, and just so impressed by the attitudes of everyone and really just all the examples of servant leadership. And it was something I really wanted to become a part of. And lucky for me, in September 2012, I was able to take an AmeriCorps position as a volunteer coordinator. And so through that position, it's been such a joy and privilege to see real outcomes in our community by our community members that are motivated to help our vulnerable neighbors. And it's just been such a privilege to watch that develop and to rally volunteers around projects such as building tables and dressers and things like that for clients that are coming out of homelessness. And watching a family take home a kitchen table the week after I just helped a volunteer group assemble it is something that really makes the whole thing kind of come full circle for me. So it's been a real privilege. I just feel really grateful to be here with you guys and to be among people who share that same passion and kind of push you forward to the next step. So as I wrap up my 2nd year of service in September, I'm really excited to go on to the next part of my journey and just feel really happy to be here and look forward to serving with some of you guys today as we pursue that question that Mrs. King actually posed about, you know, what are we doing for others? So it's great to be among you guys today and to serve alongside you too.
Anna, thank you, thank you. So you've heard from the Senior Corps members, volunteers, what they do, and you just heard Anna give a brief spiel about what she does at Caritas. We do want to share with you just some key bullets of some other impact initiatives in the city of Richmond that are occurring. These are certainly just a snapshot of what's happening. You can just stay right, actually go back to, yeah, that's fine. I'm going to read these off to you. Within the city of Richmond, Jennifer Swenson. Again, Jennifer, would you stand, please? Give Jennifer a hand. She does a great job in the city. She heads our AmeriCorps ACES program. And these are some of the key things that we're proud of, what's happening by way of the ACES program. Members have facilitated the Inside Out Dad curriculum, providing healthy relationship skills to 153 incarcerated men, soon to be released, to help successfully and positively connect with their children. Members also facilitated 71 Relationship Smart sessions in middle schools, providing youth with knowledge and skills to help them make wise relationship decisions. A member was selected to serve as an aide to President Obama's new federal task force and expand with the goal of expanding national service as a strategy to support national priorities and to strengthen service and volunteerism. Lastly, members served recently, back in January, served alongside Governor Terry McAuliffe, who was, I think, on board as governor for all of a week, I think. So he came and helped paint along with his wife, his daughter, and so AmeriCorps ACES volunteers are right there serving, or members serving with him. Under the banner of the VISTA initiative, including Senior Corps, at the Greater Richmond Fit for Kids program, whose mission is to improve children's health through increased physical activity and promoting proper nutrition, 2 VISTA members developed a volunteer management system and recruited volunteers to carry out 3 school-based programs focused on recess, coaching, wellness integration, and learning gardens. You've heard from Virginia Mentoring Partnership, some of the things that are happening there. In addition to what was stated, 8 VISTA members in 5 Richmond sites, Partnership for the Future, Big Brothers Big Sisters, VCU, University of Richmond, and St. Joseph Villa had developed sustainable mentoring programs and matched 50 students with mentors. At Housing Opportunities Made Equal, whose mission is to ensure equal access to housing for all people with home ownership counseling, financial education, foreclosure prevention, and fair housing advocacy services, 3 VISTAs have increased the organization's donor base and gift size, created materials for homes, multimedia research, exhibition, mapping RVA, and created a sustainable format for client videos to promote programs in the community. At Caritas, Caritas fills a crucial gap in the Richmond region's homeless services continuum of care through its 4 core programs: emergency shelter and case management for single adults and families, Furniture Bank, Works Job Readiness Program, and the Healing Place, an addiction recovery program. There, two VISTA members will develop a process and infrastructure for the recruitment, education, and training of Caritas volunteers and increase partners and donors. At the Virginia Coalition to End Homelessness, which is the only statewide nonprofit organization unifying the interest of all concerned with homelessness to bring the most effective and cost-effective policies, systems, and services into practice across the Commonwealth, there, 2 VISTAs will focus on permanent housing solutions to end homelessness and support the transition to sustainable and more effective systems. The Virginia Department of Social Services. Their VISTA members will explore service programs to address poverty across the Commonwealth and develop an improved coordination system between AmeriCorps and all Office of Volunteerism and Community Service programs, including Virginia's Faith-Based and Community Initiative, 211 Virginia, and Volunteer Center Network. At the Open Door Resource, whose mission is to provide specialized services to veterans, active military, and their family members living at or below poverty levels in the greater Richmond area, VISTA members will have a focus of strengthening the organization's operations that will result in enhancing and expanding their capacity to provide services to effectively meet the needs of local veterans. Higher achievement. Mission is to close the opportunity gap during the pivotal middle school years. VISTA member established a partnership with the Podium Foundation, giving Richmond High School students the opportunity to explore their passion for the literary arts while improving writing and communication skills. Podium will start providing regular writing electives and high school transition workshops with 8th graders. And lastly, the After School Alliance is an umbrella organization that supports state after-school networks working with high-poverty communities to receive and or sustain quality after-school and summer programs. In Virginia, the VISTA member is working on the 21st Century Community Learning Center program and resource sustainability through developing local support and funding at 5 sites, including Fairfax, Richmond, Roanoke, Harrisonburg, and Lynchburg. And that was VISTA. I'm going to share with you a couple points on the Senior Corps. Foster grandparents. At Senior Connections, 65 foster grandparents are in 27 school-based sites, having provided mentoring and tutoring to 152 children. Over 90% of these students have showed improvement in social, emotional behaviors, and language literacy skills. That's amazing. What percentage was that? 90%. You were listening. That's excellent. 90%. I just read an article early this morning on Huffington Post and Yahoo that there is, we all know, the emerging, ever-increasing gaps in achievement levels in kids in urban areas, even in Richmond, Virginia. So what you do is not fluff. This is real stuff. Thank you. This is all part, you all might be familiar with Mayor Jones's Maggie L. Walker Anti-Poverty Initiative. All of what you do fits into how we're going to get things accomplished and bring things to fruition. At Senior Connections, the RSVP program, over 300 volunteers have provided companionship, escort services, and non-medical assistance to patients in 6 area hospitals, including McGuire Hospital, assisted in the preparation and delivery of Meals on Wheels, offer telephone reassurance and daily I'm okay checks to frail elderly residents living alone and in senior communities, and work with Project Homes to make minor repairs and accessibility modifications to area senior citizens' homes. This is only a sample of the things happening in the city of Richmond. Again, I would say give yourselves a hand. These are measurable things that we can say are making a difference in the city of Richmond. And again, on behalf of Mayor Jones, we thank you. Next on the agenda, we have the mayoral proclamation. And obviously, Mayor Jones is not here, so he's put this together and signed this, and this again is the proclamation. And let me read this to you. Whereas service to others is a landmark and hallmark of the American character and central to how we meet our challenges. And whereas the nation's mayors are increasingly turning to national service and volunteerism as a cost-effective strategy to meet city needs. And whereas AmeriCorps and Senior Corps address the most pressing challenges facing our cities and nation, from educating students for the jobs of the 21st century and supporting veterans and military families, from preserving the environment and helping communities recover from natural disasters, to assisting senior citizens and children's programs, including such initiatives as the RSVP and foster grandparent programs operated by Senior Connections, the Capital Area Agency on Aging. And whereas National Service expands economic opportunity by creating more sustainable, resilient communities and providing education, career skills, and leadership abilities for those who serve. And whereas National Service participants serve in more than 70,000 locations across the country, bolstering the civic, neighborhood, and faith-based organizations that are so vital to our economic and social well-being. And whereas National Service participants increase the impact of the organizations they serve with, both through their direct service and by recruiting and managing millions of additional volunteers. And whereas National Service represents a unique public-private partnership that invests in community solutions and leverages non-federal resources to strengthen community impact and increase the return on taxpayer dollars. And whereas AmeriCorps members and Senior Corps volunteers demonstrate commitment, dedication, and patriotism by making an intensive commitment to service, a commitment that remains with them in their future endeavors. And whereas the Corporation for National and Community Service shares a priority with mayors nationwide to engage citizens, improve lives, and strengthen communities, and is joining with mayors across the country to support the second annual Mayor's Day of Recognition for National Service on April 1st, 2014. Now, therefore, I, Dwight C. Jones, Mayor of the City of Richmond, Virginia, do hereby proclaim April 1st, 2014 as National Service Recognition Day in the City of Richmond, and encourage all citizens to recognize the positive impact of national service in our city, to thank those who serve, and to find ways to give back in their communities. Thank you. So again, on behalf of Dwight C. Jones, Mayor of the fine city of Richmond, Virginia, it's been my pleasure to be with you all today. What a joy to hear the things that you all are doing to make a difference in the lives of youth, vulnerable seniors, persons with disabilities, and even the infrastructure of agencies in the city. Thank you so, so much. Give yourselves one last round of applause.